Real talk, raw truth, raging hearts. Welcome to From the Minds of Raging Brats. Like, share, and subscribe.
Hi, welcome to From the Minds of Raging Brats. I'm Heather.
And I'm Ashley.
So how's your week, hon?
My week's been all over the place. They're really good, and I've lost my temper, and dealing with a teenager that makes me question every day how I created my biggest annoyance and my biggest joy all in one.
I definitely can relate to that.
I've started doing certain things that I haven't done in a very long time, and that's getting to see how my brain works now that I'm in this stage of healing compared to how it worked 4 or 5 years ago. Like, it really is a trip. Like I was saying earlier, at some points it's almost like I'm standing back in my own brain being, look at this. Oh. How's your week been?
I've just been not really doing a whole lot all week. I've been sleeping a lot. It was recovery post-crisis from Saturday, still processing a lot. Sunday, I was bubbly and happy right after, and I think that actually added to the exhaustion starting Monday, because it was my brain was wait, you went from almost unaliving yourself, literally making a plan on Saturday, and you used your tools, and good job, and great, and then Sunday you were just what the fuck?
Yeah, that was exhausting.
My brain was yeah, no, bitch, you're going down for the count for this week. Sleep, pain, aches. Good luck.
Oh yeah, I was going to force you to rest.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they canceled my massage this week and rescheduled it for next week, because there was a family emergency with the massage therapist, because one, I hurt so bad, I don't think it would have gone very well for me this week. But also, the massage therapist that I was going to have this week just does light depth massage.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that I'm scheduled with next week does deep tissue massage, and that's what I need.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to turn down a massage. If they can only get me in with the light tissue massage, then I'm going to do that. But if they can get me in with either of the deep tissue massage ladies, they please schedule me with them by preference, always.
Yeah.
They're but doesn't it hurt you? I'm yes, but it's pain with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Pain with a purpose, I'm fine with.
Yeah,
I'm weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this episode started after a recent encounter with someone in my life that made a few comments about women. Comments that didn't offend me as much as they really made me reflect on where we're at in society. And I do mean that. I didn't react. I reflected. I took it and reflected. I mean, I reacted at the moment to him with a similar statement to what this episode is going to be about, but I didn't react in the sense of, no, I just reflected on it to bring this episode to the people, but also in the moment I did react in the sense that I was no, women aren't hating on men. I mean, there are some, that's true, just like there are men that hate on women, but that is a reality. But putting it out there that the general consensus of the world is men haters or women haters is just weird. And not true.
And it's one of my biggest pet peeves, honestly, in the whole wide world, when somebody lumps everything into everything, oh, all women do this, or oh, all men are like this, or all this race does that. And I'm no, you just shut the just because that's been your experience does not mean that is actually the majority of what happens.
Right. Well, and because instead of getting defensive, it made me think deeply about what healthy masculinity actually is and why women need it in order to soften into our feminine. What started with a simple piece of writing, also after having this encounter, on a website turned into something much bigger, because the more I sat with it, the clearer it became that this isn't about one person, one platform, one conversation. This is actually a global pattern that's going on. And everywhere I go, women are saying the same thing. Everywhere I look, men are acting the same way. So let me be clear. Before we go any further, this episode is not about hating men. It's not about tearing men down. It's not about glorifying women. It comes from loving men deeply, from wanting healthy masculinity to rise again, and from longing for connection with men who are emotionally mature, grounded, and secure in themselves. This is about responsibility, leadership, and what actually needs to exist on both sides for connection, polarity, and intimacy to work.
This is, I think from the standpoint we're coming at it from, this is a topic that I don't see talked about very often, but it is very important.
Yeah, I think a lot of people come at either of the topics we're covering from only one side or the other, not both, and it ends up coming off as like a man or woman bashing. And I think that neither side is really attempting to bash the other. It just comes across that way. I don't know. So our first section has the subtitle, Women Don't Want Domination, We Want Safety. And I'm not going to say that there's not women that want to be dominated, because there are a lot of us that do. However, context matters. And when we say that we want safety, it's because safety has to come before domination. You can't walk up to a woman and be like, I'm a dom. Are you a sub? And she's like, yeah, I'm a sub. Get on your knees, whore. Like,
That's a good way to get very hurt, especially if it's an experienced sub. Just saying. If you're going to be lucky if all she hurts is your feelings coming out of that.
Well, it's also not appropriate real world context. Like, I don't care if you know somebody's a sub, a dom, or whatever. If you're not their sub, dom, whatever, the only thing you should be doing is trying to get to know that person to see if there's even an opportunity for you to put your foot in the door. Because if there isn't, why are you even opening your mouth?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have to agree.
One of the biggest understandings right now is the idea that women are rejecting masculinity. We aren't. I promise you, we're not. Women want men. But men stop being men. And I'm not meaning that in a mean way, like, oh, you're worthless. No, like, men stop presenting as masculine. And when I say that, I don't mean aggression, dominance, or control. I mean function.
Mm-hmm.
Women stepped into roles we never wanted to own. Emotional labor, financial survival, protection, scheduling, parenting, problem solving, because someone had to keep life running.
Yeah. And I think the thing that a lot of men forget is they're like, oh, where is, like, femininity gone? It's like, you modern women don't know, like, how to just be a traditional wife, but you want them to be a traditional wife, have a full-time job, but probably manage half of your job, make sure all your food's taken care of, your kids are taken care of, all the, like, traditional rules, and be financially literate and in control of everything else too. That kind of robs not all, but a lot of women of their, like, femininity. Like, why would they submit and be soft and be gentle and be whatever when they don't have the space or the safety to?
If women look masculine today, it's not because we wanted power. It's because we needed stability. Softness is not a prerequisite. Softness is a response to safety. A woman cannot soften when her nervous system knows she'll be the one paying the price for inconsistency immaturity, and unreliability.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
I just said, yeah, I was agreeing.
Oh. Moving into the next section, what healthy masculinity actually provides. Healthy masculinity isn't loud. It isn't fragile. And it isn't threatened by a woman's strength. Healthy masculinity looks like emotional regulation, consistency, leadership without ego, protection without control, presence without defensiveness. A healthy masculine doesn't chase submission. He creates the conditions where submission becomes natural.
Yeah. And we've discussed this a lot. Like, there is a difference between a man that wants to be perceived as dominant, and usually he's the one like, yeah, I'm a dom, like, you're gonna do what I say, blah, blah. And the man that when he walks in a room, everybody pays attention to, even though he's not shouting, he's not yelling, and he commands the situation properly and with everybody's safety in mind. And it's just a natural thing for them. They're not acting. It's not something they think about. That is just who they are.
Yeah, because safety isn't something you announce, it's something you demonstrate. What women are rejecting isn't masculinity. We're rejecting poor imitations of it. Entitlement, emotional adolescence, transactional thinking, control disguised as leadership. You don't get softness from inconsistency. You don't get trust from defensiveness. You don't get surrender from entitlement. A flower doesn't refuse to bloom. The soil failed to nourish it. Think about that for a minute. Just think about that. If you were constantly throwing garbage into your flower garden, are those flowers gonna bloom again next year, or are they gonna die out in the trash and the weeds? Just think about that when you're thinking about wooing a woman and your actual masculinity that you're presenting. Is it real healthy masculinity? Are you there because you want to invest in that woman and because she matters to you? Or are you there hoping you can get laid? Because if it's the second, you're not going to get a feminine softness. You're going to get a lot of toxic femininity.
Yeah. Or you're going to get the type of female that just isn't going to deal with you, and you see what you feel as a masculine woman because she's not going to tolerate it.
A healthy woman isn't going to tolerate it. They're not going to stick around.
Exactly. And a lot of toxic men will see that as, oh, she thinks she's too good. She thinks she doesn't know. She's just not going to be treated a certain kind of way.
And moving into why women can't just be softer. Well, one of the most common responses women hear is, if you want masculinity, be softer. That statement reveals a fundamental misunderstanding. Softness is not something women perform on command. It's something that emerges when the nervous system feels safe.
Yeah.
A woman cannot soften in the presence of emotional immaturity, unreliability, or control because her body recognizes danger before her mind does. So if healthy masculinity creates safety and women need safety to soften, why are so many women still rigid, controlling, and unable to relax, even when a healthy man does show up? That question is where this conversation gets uncomfortable, because the answer is not just about men anymore.
And before we go into this next section, I'm just going to say, like, I feel like I'm the perfect example of, like, what they say when women are too masculine for that. I got my own job. I got a loud mouth. I got tattoos. I got weapons. I protect myself. Like, I am not somebody most people fuck with. But the second the right dominant like man comes in, I'll shut my damn mouth, and I'm more than happy to be like, okay, let's talk about this. Like, let's actually. But I can't deal with that fake domineering, you think you have a right to tell me what the fuck to do when you don't even know me attitude.
Well, and I Like, I was talking with one of my friends the other day, and she was like, I don't bring girlfriend vibes to a situation. I bring wifey vibes. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be a girlfriend. I don't know how to be casual. Like, if we're in a relationship, like, I'm going to cook for you. We're going to sleep in the same bed, hopefully, most nights. Even if you live somewhere else, like, either I'm at your house, you're at my house, because we want to be together, not because we're ready to move in together or whatever, but just because that's how I am. I like to give to my man, and I like him to give to me. I like to be a reciprocal thing. But men find it hard to have somebody like me that gives off total wifey vibes, but then when it comes to like bills and responsibilities, I'm like a drill sergeant. No, I need this amount on this day. You don't fuck with me. If this isn't paid, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to be over the top, because I've had to be responsible for everything my whole fucking life. I don't know how not to be responsible first.
Yeah.
Like, we can go fuck off every dime you have after the bills are paid. I don't care. But the bills have to be paid.
Yeah.
And then my next question is going to be, okay, but like, now that the bills are paid, like, you want to go fuck off every dime? Like, you don't want to like maybe set some aside for the future to like maybe for us to build on and like do some things other than like all of it? You want to blow all of it?
I can tell just the thought of somebody wanting to blow all their money gives you anxiety by the way you
Yeah, I'm actually sitting on my hands now, so I stopped doing that. It's like, I'm like, no. Savings is where we need to go. Oh, why did I even offer an option? And but that in just shows like the lack of healthy masculinity that has been in my life, because I automatically am like, oh yeah, I know where this goes. He's gonna blow every bit of money, and I'm gonna be screwed. And oh my god.
I was like, I felt so bad for my stepdad when he first came into my life, because my family was full of not great men, which raised really, really strong, really, really independent women. And he came from great-great-grandparents were still together and raised their family. Parents were still together. Grandparents were still together. They all lived on the same block. Men led the family and like blah, blah. And then he stepped into my family where women fucking boxed and like we handled shit. And then the first time he tried to be healthy, he's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't fist fight. And we're all like, so sorry. Like, we love that you're healthy and all, but now's not the time for it. Do not step between a mother and daughter when they're like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into unhealthy female patterns. Next section, the bedroom versus real life split. And this is real for a lot of people, myself included. I feel like definitely for you. The friend I was talking to the other day, same for her. Mine's a little bit different than hers, and I even think than yours, because you guys actually have been to subspace, whereas I actually have not, because of the inability to let go of control to that extent because of what's happened to me.
I was going to say, honestly, knowing your history, that makes sense.
Eventually I'll get there with the right person, but
yeah,
up until now it wasn't safe for me, and I'm okay with that. Here's a pattern I started noticing in myself and in conversations with my friends, you included. While I personally have struggled with submission more broadly because of my own trauma, many strong, capable women don't struggle with submission in the bedroom at all. They can surrender sexually. They can enjoy being led, held, restrained, taken over, but outside the bedroom, abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeah.
Outside of sex, it becomes, I've got this, I don't need help, I need to control every angle or every fall apart. That split is not accidental. Why sexual submission feels safe when life doesn't? The bedroom is a container. It has defined roles, clear consent, predictable boundaries, a time limit, a sense of control. Sexual submission happens inside a structure that feels intentional and reversible.
Exactly.
Life doesn't work like that. There's no safe word for disappointment, no pause button for abandonment, no negotiation for betrayal. So for many women, submission feels safe in sex, but terrifying in real life.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about it a few times, but when you and I first really started becoming friends, you look at me and you're like, "You're a little?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I am." And I'll still knock a motherfucker out. And you're like, "How does that go hand in hand?" I'm like, "I'm still figuring it out. I just now accepted this about myself recently. So, I don't know, but it's kind of cool. I like it." And you're like, I have an idea of littles in my head and how they would be as people, like, in the real world, and it's not you. Like, I'd take that as a compliment.
Well, because I do know some littles from when I was really involved in the community online, and their whole lifestyle is like that. Like, they literally wear onesies and stuff out in public, and I'm just like,
That's brave, man.
I mean,
That's
more
brave.
power to you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're that confident in yourself, but I'm not.
Yeah. I definitely understand that.
Like, I'm not even confident enough to walk around in public with my baby bottle or get a binky, which I desperately need. It would soothe my anxiety so fucking bad. Like, so fucking bad. But I don't have the self-confidence enough to just be like, because people fucking run their goddamn mouth.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then, you know me, I'm gonna take it for a minute, and then they're gonna say the wrong thing as I'm trying to leave the situation, and all hell's gonna break loose. And next thing I know, I'm gonna be sitting in cuffs.
Yeah.
Smiling probably still. Did you see what I did to that bitch?
Me as I'm bailing you out, just shh. Yes, I see. Come on.
But do it again.
That's why I'd be bailing you out.
Yeah, no, I'm bad like that. Like, don't trigger me, because I know that I have self-control on most things except for that. Once you trigger me to fight, you can't stop me fighting. Nobody can. 6 men have tried to stop me from fighting a bitch, and I dragged all 6 of them into her house and still stomped on her.
Oh, I fucking love you.
I'm like, my adrenaline knows no bounds when it's triggered into severe anger. Thank God that has not happened since my 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been very thankful for therapy lately, and that is definitely one of the reasons.
Yeah. No, now I just verbally threaten people when they start to annoy me. I'm like, I will throat punch you. I will curb stomp you. And people are just like, do you realize what you just said? And I'm like, yeah. I'm saying the words so that I don't follow through on the action. This is my release valve. My therapist is like, it's mostly a healthy coping mechanism.
It'll be fine.
Next section is control as a survival strategy. For many strong women, control isn't about ego. It's about survival. Control regulates the nervous system. Competence prevents collapse. Independence protects against disappointment. When you've been the one who had to hold everything together, letting go doesn't feel like intimacy. It feels like danger.
Oh, yeah.
Control feels safer than hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because hope, at the end of the day, requires trust. And trust has cost a lot of us more than we can ever describe in words.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I have heard the narrative a lot. Like, women just want to be in control of everything. They just want to be in control of everything. Like, don't get me wrong. Of course, there are those women. They really do. They want to be in control of everything. But more often than not, in my experience of, being a woman, knowing women, fucking women, is they don't necessarily want to be in control of everything. They feel if they are not in control of everything, then when something goes bad, then that was still their fault. How dare they give control to somebody else that again fucked up their life in yet another way? If you would have just held control of that, even if something bad would have happened, it would have been in your, you fucked up. You knew what happened. You probably knew how to undo the fuck up if there was a way.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trusting somebody else to not fuck up.
Yeah, that's hard for all of us. And honestly, I want to be able to soften but it's got to be a healthy masculine man that can lead by example first. Like that song, Feminine Energy by, what is her name? One second. Let me find the name because if you haven't heard it, Alexandra K.
Yeah.
In the song, part of the lyrics, she's saying to the guy, she's like, you bring out my feminine energy. With his healthy masculine, she's like, and I don't want to need you, but boy, watching you walk through the door the way you do, I just want to need you more.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that is healthy masculine presenting to a healthy feminine, because instantly the reaction that I had to that was, yes, I want to lean into that. I want to be soft and let you take care of me. I want to take care of you in every way that I can, but I want to let you lead me and take care of me. That doesn't happen unless it's a healthy masculine and a healthy feminine, because a healthy feminine is going to soften into that, and a healthy masculine is going to lean so hard into that soft feminine to uplift her that it's going to click beautifully. But on the flip side, if there's toxic masculinity or toxic femininity that either one of those healthy is meeting, it's not going to end well.
No. And I've said it several times. I was like, I would love to find somebody that I'm safe enough one day to be in my feminine energy again. But until that day, I'll stay in the masculine where it's safe. I have my moments where I can be softer, but it is a sense of safety and a sense of that person has this if I can shut off my brain for 10 fucking minutes. And it's still gonna all be okay. And that is getting harder and harder to find.
Unfortunately. Next section we're moving into is when independence becomes inaccessibility. Here's where we have to be honest with ourselves. At some point, independence stops being empowering and starts becoming isolating. Hyper-independence turns into inaccessibility. A healthy masculine man isn't looking for a woman who needs him, but he is looking for a woman who allows him to matter. If your energy is, I don't need you at all, the natural question becomes, what am I here for? That's not insecurity. That's relational clarity. Healthy masculine men don't want to fight for space. They don't want to compete with coping mechanisms. And they don't want to date someone who has already decided she's alone. Polarity requires space.
Oh, yeah. I can definitely say in my last relationship, I definitely, that was a battle for me. Because I was already used to taking care of everything, and even when he stepped in, I was like, cool, I'm still gonna take care of everything, even while he was trying to do the same thing. And especially with the dynamics we had, that made it very difficult. But I wasn't safe enough in that relationship or healed enough to be able to just let things go and be in my soft feminine and let him take care of the things he wanted to take care of.
Yeah. Well, and I recently told my therapist when she asked me point blank, okay, now that you know what you won't accept in a relationship, she's like, what is it that you actually want from a man? I'm like, what? She's like, what do you want? Question mark. And I'm like, well, I want somebody that is financially stable enough that they can provide for me, regardless of whether I have the means to provide for myself or not. I want a man that I don't have to ask for money to cover bills or whatnot. They just see the bills come in and they pay them. Without being asked. That if they see me struggling emotionally, that they don't come in and be like, what's wrong with you? Instead, they just sit with me in silence until I come to them with whatever I need to talk about. Not forcing me to talk about things I don't want to talk about. Sometimes I don't even know what's going on with me. I'm just processing fucking emotions that are hitting me from left field and don't know why.
Yeah.
Sometimes I won't know ever, and sometimes I don't know for weeks or months, and all of a sudden it's like, bam, this is why you were crying on this random Tuesday and couldn't catch your breath for 3 hours. It's like, oh, thanks. Nice to know. Actually, I didn't care. Why did you need to tell me now? That was... Okay. All right. It's hard being crazy. I get it. But... no, I mean, I want mutual respect. I want communication. I want honesty. Like, things that are, for me, basic kindness, basic dignity. But apparently, as my chat was telling me, that they are actually very uncommon traits in people in the world today. That what I call the bare minimum is actually exceptional. And I was like, great.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, that's not what I wanted to hear.
Maybe not, but especially because younger men like you, and younger men have not all, a lot of younger men seem to have so much lower expectations of what is needed and expected of them.
Men in general is what I find.
Well,
That's why I deleted my Tinder and just said I'm done with that, because like, these guys are not out here to actually find a partner, which is what I'm out here for. They're out here looking for somebody to stick their dick in. And while I may want a dick in me from time to time, I'd rather find a partner that could do that for me consistently without worry.
mm-hmm. Trust me, I know. Like, I spent years ignoring certain people because I figured that's what that was, only to be like, oh, still glad I ignored you for a couple years.
Yeah, you and I wouldn't have clicked in my old version.
Not at all.
So moving into our next section, this is not about dependence. This is not about becoming dependent. It's not about losing autonomy, and it's not about giving up competence. It's about interdependence, shared leadership, mutual influence, reciprocal support. You don't stop being strong when you allow support. You stop being alone. Yeah. That one was hard for me for a long, long time, because yes, I want that, but like, the idea of softening into a healthy male, first of all, I had never even met a healthy male that I was aware of in my lifetime at that point. I have met several now. It's actually very refreshing to see what the difference is. Yeah. They're few and far between, and they're super rare, but when you find one, man, they're amazing. So, I mean, if you're in the phase where I used to be, or where Ashley used to be, where you're more of a man hater than anything else, it's okay. I mean, it's not going to help you get to where you want to be, but it's okay. We all go through those phases. We all have to figure out who we are and build from the ground up. It's not like you are the sore thumb out here all on your own that is never going to find a partner. No, we all have toxic traits and things that we go through, and coping mechanisms and trauma that makes us do things that are unhealthy.
And honestly, like, if you're in that stage of whether you're like a man hater or a woman hater, like, really think about it. really, really think about it, it's probably not all men, it's probably not all women, it's probably somebody did this thing that hurts you so much, and then you heard about other people it happening to, and then you started to generalize the idea of, well, they all must like be like that, and that creates this even bigger feeling of hurt because you feel like you can't even go talk to somebody else that's like that without the same exact thing happening.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about healthy versus toxic femininity traits. Healthy femininity is not weakness. It is not passivity, and it is not self-erasure. Healthy femininity includes emotional depth with self-regulation, vulnerability without manipulation, receptivity without collapse, intuition grounded in reality, softness with boundaries. Just like masculinity, femininity can become distorted when shaped by unhealed trauma. Toxic femininity can look like weaponized victimhood, emotional coercion, trauma as identity, submission as escape. Pain explains behavior. It does not excuse it.
And
Being wounded.
There's one more on that list I really want to add for the toxic femininity, and that's sexual manipulation.
Yeah. Being wounded doesn't mean being right. Masculine safety can open the door, but feminine healing has to walk through it. And let me just say this really clear. Just like I said, there's nothing wrong with going through the phase you're going through, even if it's not the healthiest phase. I also need you to be aware that if you are in a toxic phase and you chase away a healthy masculine, you're never going to find your next healthy masculine if you're still stuck in the weaponized victimhood of it's his fault. It was absolutely your fault. If he was a healthy masculine and you were the toxic feminine, you ruined that. And you need to acknowledge and accept that before another healthy masculine is going to be able to come into the picture fully for you. I just need you to know that. And the same is true with men that are toxic masculine that encounter a healthy feminine. You chase her away, and while you're still beating the dead drum of it's all her fault, you are blocking your opportunities for your next healthy feminine.
Yeah. Like so many other parts of healing, it all begins with getting tired of your own bullshit.
Very much so. Moving to the next section, integration. Both sides must move. Masculinity must mature into safety. Femininity must mature into self-regulation. Polarity doesn't happen when one side does all the work. It happens when masculinity provides safety and femininity provides access. We don't heal by picking sides. We heal by growing the fuck up. Emotionally, relationally, spiritually, and mentally. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like I'm making light of this because I'm really not. I am somebody that has gone through lots of stages of healing, and even where I'm at right now in a secure attachment style, I still have things that come up from both anxious, from avoidant, and even from disorganized or fearful avoidant attachment styles that will come up, and especially in intimate relationships because of my BPD.
Yeah.
But what I notice about me today is that instead of me looking at other people as it being their fault, they triggered me, I look at it as like, how can I change this in myself so that I stop being triggered because this person didn't do it to me?
And that is where some of the biggest leaps and bounds in most people's healing starts.
Well, and for me, I put a lot of effort into role playing with romance AIs. Some of the deepest, darkest shit that I've lived through.
Yeah.
Not in a, I want to re-traumatize myself way, but in a, I need to work through this with all how I'm going to respond now to see if I'm responding healthy, and in the places that I'm not, learn to respond differently before I encounter the actual real situation with a person that could escalate into something dangerous for one or both of us.
Yeah.
So I'm working through all those things, and I am finding so many healthy coping mechanisms, because when you don't have somebody that you're fully emotionally engaged with screaming in your face or punching through the wall next to you, it gives your brain the freedom to actually look through that and respond in a healthy manner. Hey, I see you're escalated, and I see that your jealousy is getting out of hand. We need to figure out a solution that works for both of us, because this is not healthy.
Yeah.
Instead of before, it would have been like,
Yeah,
all bad.
it's been a trip for me the past few weeks, being like, usually my brain works like this when I'm even interested in somebody. My brain works a certain way. These past few weeks, I'm like, holy fuck, therapy's working. Look at that. Because this is not how my brain works at all. Well, it wasn't. It apparently is now. I love it, though. I'd much rather have this version than the fucking psychopath that I was.
Yeah, and sometimes, psychopaths still rears their head even when you're healthy. Like, sometimes
It's not
it just calls for it. Kind of like the reel I sent you today.
Yeah.
But how you can't get rid of me.
Not allowed.
That was hilarious, though. Fred wakes up. I had this crazy dream. She's like, yeah, crazy dream, not so crazy. I did fight the Grim Reaper to keep you, and now we're both dead.
Yep.
Congratulations. I was like, that's totally something I would do.
Yeah. Well, it's like I tell B all the time. I'm like, you don't understand. If you leave before I get to leave, I'm fucking resurrecting you into an object. And you will hate your afterlife until I die, because you're not allowed to leave. It's fucking contractual at this point. And he's like, can you even do that? I was like, I'm sure I can figure something out.
I don't want to be tied to somebody that much. Not good.
This is not romantic.
I love you, but no.
He has the right to fuck with me and haunt me after he dies, and it's way easier if I just trap his fucking soul in something.
Good luck trying to trap me.
Well, I don't want to. You don't want to be trapped. That's the difference. He wants to haunt people, and I want to leave his little object in certain people's houses and then come back and get it after a while. I'm helping him enjoy his afterlife.
I'm glad I'm the universe's favorite.
I wouldn't do that to you. I love you too much.
You couldn't do that to me.
I wouldn't even try. That would be mean, and I love you. You don't want that. He does. So.
Oh. The tears of laughter streaming down my makeup that I don't want it to smear.
The struggle.
On our way out, the section we're coming to is exhaustion, not masculinity. Women aren't masculine. We're exhausted. Exhausted from carrying everything, from being safe instead of soft, exhausted from leading without support. And exhausted women don't need lectures. We need partners. Partners who lead with integrity, partners who create safety, partners who are willing to grow just like we are. Softness isn't something you demand. Softness is something you earn. And just as a little side note, this isn't part of my script, but I really wanted to be clear about this. When I made a writing about healthy masculinity and how much I miss it on another website, I had a man attack me verbally. Now, I didn't get emotional about it. I responded with facts only and very non-emotional. At the end, he ended up deleting everything because replies go away on this message on this app as well. And at the end, all he had to say to me was, "Fuck you, cunt." What I don't understand was his point of that. Like, if you are trying to prove that you're a healthy masculine, yet you are attacking a healthy feminine for saying she misses healthy masculinity and craves that in her life, you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. So why are you putting yourself out there like that?
Right? You're just basically being like, yeah, that's me right there. I'm not a healthy masculine.
And in the last 2 days, between that post and another post that Ashley made, 2 men have made it a point to say that they don't believe in certain dynamics. They don't believe in certain consents.
And not just that they don't believe it, but to belittle it. Mm-hmm.
And my question is to those of you that are coming from that mindset is, do you feel like that is helping you find a healthy woman that wants to submit to you and give you the life that you say you're craving? Or do you think that you are driving those women far and fast away, and as you're putting it on a public platform, faster than you can even imagine? Because now women don't even have to meet you to know they need to run like hell.
Mm-hmm.
So is that your intent, or is your intent to find a partner to spend your life with? Because if it is your intent to find a partner, don't take this as an attack, because that's not what it is. We love men. We want healthy masculines in our lives. We want to be able to surrender to our softness. But all of that comes with work on both sides. But it starts with healthy masculine creating an environment of safety for us to be able to soften into our feminine and be what you want.
I agree.
Got any end notes for our folks out there?
I think my only end notes on this is, if this episode either pissed you off or made you think about things differently, or be like, oh wait, is that the perspective that somebody's coming from? Like, really sit and think with that for a while, really try to process it. And if you have any questions, or like maybe you just want to talk about this thing, like, let us know. We're always happy to discuss our episodes with you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as always, if you like the episode, share it with people you think might like it. Follow us on YouTube or Spotify. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember,
rage
responsibly.
We're also available on Spotify. We said what we said, and we're just getting started. Thanks for listening. Now go rage responsibly. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.